Charisma. I've heard over the years to a lot of people actually, who have expressed that they would like to become charismatic leaders. And I've always personally been quite curious about what makes a person really charismatic to the others. So today what I'm going to share with you is what my perspectives are, my opinions. So in my head, charisma is not so much about how you look, or it's not so much about your knowledge, or it's also not about the awards you have won, or about how good you are on your communication skills. Right? None of this actually matters when it comes to charisma. I mean, they're important, but they're not the most important thing. So does this sound interesting? Take notes, and this will be one of the most important videos that you will watch, especially if you're trying to create an impact on the people in your career. If you want to connect with your team members and your peers and your stakeholders, and at a deeper level, then this is at a people level, then this is important, right? This is an important concept that you should be aware of, and you should be actually practicing it. So what I'm going to share with you is a mind map after this, and then you will have that mind map and you can download it so you can watch it and look at it. So let us understand what is charisma. The first thing I want to share with you is that it is not about your looks. It's not about your looks. If you can look into the mirror and you are able to feel good about yourself, that is enough. Yeah. The second thing, it's not about being an introverted person or an extroverted person. A lot of people believe that charisma comes from if you are an extroverted person, then you can be charismatic. That's not true. Right? Some of the most charismatic people are also people who are quite silent and people who are introverted personalities. Right? So it's not about introverted versus extrovert, and it is definitely not that only extroverts can be charismatic. The third point that I want to mention is that it's not about your knowledge. A lot of people actually have a lot of knowledge and are intellectually very stimulating. They can have these very interesting conversations, sometimes very interesting information they have on specific topics, which is their relevant topics, and they're probably good speakers. But when you start interacting with them, right? When you start, you understand them a little deeper. You realize that sometimes they're just throwing jargons and words at you, and sometimes they're parroting things that they've heard somewhere, right? From some other source they would have listened or read, something like that. But they've not really done the doing, so they've not gone through the grind. They have not gone through those tough situations, and you can, if you watch carefully, you will see these things coming out in your one-on-one conversation. When you have these conversations with some people, you will realize, right, in their day, sometimes you will hear them in their daily meetings, in the huddles. They'll talk about, they'll keep talking and talking, but over a period of time, you will notice these things. Notice how they perform under stress when real things are really difficult, right? And you will be able to make out that difference. Number 4, it is also not about how many awards you have won or what your designation is or how many accolades you have won and how many years of experience you have. It has got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you would have met some managers. I have, in my own career, have met some managers, and I've met some professionals who are always full of themselves. It's always about themselves. They're always talking about themselves. All the time the spotlight is on them, how great they are. You will find these people are always, talking about their fantastic achievements and, how successful they have been in their career. And they're, the things that they have gone through is nothing compared to the things that you are currently going through, right? So, these are pitiful things that you are going through, but they have gone through really, really difficult things and they have made it there. It also might be, and I've seen some of them also about talking a lot about money, about which car they drive, the flashy things, the gadgets and the phones and all of that, right? So that's also not charisma. Yes, there are people who do get attracted to those kind of things, flashy things, but according to me, that's not really where charisma comes from, where the depth is, right? So let me give you my outlook on where I think charisma comes from. So your charisma comes from your intentions. Your charisma comes from the values that you actually stand for. Right? Your charisma comes from what your mission is. When people come into my community, right, when they join my programs, the first thing I have them do is work on their mindset. It's important. They need to understand their values, they need to understand their purpose and what their belief systems are. People sometimes come in and have these conversations with me upfront, right? So I want to get 100% hike in my salary, or I want more money, or can I get a higher designation? I want an immediately higher designation. But we have to understand that money and designations will only follow a mission when you have your values right, when you have a purpose and you're going and doing that. Yes, you can hop on to the next level. But if you want a sustained career that takes you to lead organizations and large divisions, you need people who will follow you. Your team and your team members need to trust and believe in you. Your customers or your stakeholders, who are people who are interacting with you and need to trust your abilities. And that will only happen if you operate from the right place. If you want to build your charisma, there are 10 things, 10 tips that I can give you, I can share with you today. The first of it is, the first thing is to know your audience. Know the people, know the team members, know the stakeholders, know your manager. And I'm talking specifically sometimes about managers. It's important to know your manager. Listen more than you speak. Listen to what they have to say and also read between the lines. Understand their perspectives. What is their real intent? Why are they saying what they are saying? When I have my one-on-ones, I spend quite a bit of time understanding the person, who they are. What is their background, their family, their circumstances. And these, gives me insight into the person they are, into their mindset. And since I genuinely am interested in them, I remember these details. And I analyze them and I assimilate them over a period of time that kind of helps me. So that's the first step. If you want to build if you want to build charisma, you need to understand your colleagues, your team members, their needs, right? So my own mission is to help a lack of IT BPM professionals to achieve accelerated career growth, and I want to help to bridge that gap, the leadership gap that is there in the industry. Because I believe this, right? Because I believe that there is a massive gap in leadership, wisdom, because I believe that there is a massive amount of knowledge, there is a massive amount of content out there. There is no dearth of content. But it is so much that there is no way for us to be able to distill it, assimilate it, and then consume it. As a result, we go about doing things without really understanding why we are doing it. What is the deeper essence of who we are? And that is why values become so important. And the only way to do this is to make people aware, right, about their own values. The transformation will happen when you start becoming a value-centered leader. So that's my mission, right? Now, when you are able to voice out your own mission, right, your own, what you stand for, what you want to develop and how you want to help others or whatever you want to do, then the sense of charisma will come in, because there's a sense of attraction. People will want to know more about you. They will want to connect with you at a deeper level. So it's important that they connect with what you stand for, and that is where charisma comes from. So understand this is a very important part of the process. The other thing that you've got to do is to serve your people. It means that you need to find a way to be there and connect with them. Now, it could be through calls or meetings or town halls or blogs, videos, but the outlook should be is what value can you give them? How can you make their life easier for them? What information or knowledge that you can put forward to help them in a way that it puts them on the least path of resistance in whatever they want to achieve in their life. So the moment you start thinking about it from that perspective, it becomes easier. The more you do that, the more you will realize that they will start seeing a charismatic leader in you. So you might be asking me, Amir, if I am a team member, how is it that I'm going to help others? But just think about yourself. Even if you are a fresher, you will have other people around you, people who work with you, right? There's an opportunity to help and serve them. Even for myself, there's a massive difference in the way I show up. As I've gone through my own career and my own journey, the way I show up is very different. The way I show up in the meetings, in town halls, and all of these, whenever there is a large or very small, I show up in a different way. So when you come in there with a focus to serve others, then the process starts, right? Your process of building your charisma starts. Some of you might say that you manage really large teams. How do you really connect with different people? How do you connect with everyone to build this up? So if you think about it right now, what is happening, right? We are connecting through digital space. There's an emotional connect, and that's why you are watching me right now. And as you go through this process, right, you are connecting with me as a person. And so the next time you watch or listen to me, you will be a bit warmer and you will be far more receptive to some of the ideas that I'm sharing, and you will engage with me. As you listen to me, you will resonate with my mission, you will be able to resonate with my thinking, and slowly over a period of time, the charisma will be built. All right, let's come to the next one, the number 4. And number 4 is about solving problems. When you solve problem for people, people will get attracted to you. You will also understand as you go to try and solve those problems that you're not able to address all of them. There will be many that is not in your remit or your capability. And then you can understand the challenges those guys are going through, the people are going through. Which is what then leads you to my next point, which is empathy. You have to have empathy. And you will realize that as you go and solve their problems and you're not able to solve it, you will realize that you get into their shoes. You've got to put yourself into the shoes of your customer, team members, stakeholders, whoever you're working with, and really find out what is stopping them, what is keeping them stuck, how they feel about the current situation. The next one, number 6, is facts tell, but stories sell. And when you are able to share your own personal stories, your own personal experience, it then makes sense to them. In fact, if you come to my next webinar, I want to share with you my own personal story and how I was able to go from being a hotel management diploma holder to where I am today. To meet and interact with me, you just need to go to the link below and register for my live masterclass. Right, it happens on this Saturday, and you can come and interact with me. So the first 30 minutes, I'm going to really talk about in that masterclass. I'm going to talk about my own story and share with you the principles, what principles I learned from that journey, right? And what are some of those things and my personal stories about success and failure, because I've learned a lot from my failures. So being charismatic isn't just about wearing a suit or flashy things. Charisma happens on when you go to it at a much deeper level. You've got to stay grounded and be more relatable as a person. And the more you can be at this level, right, and stop putting people either on pedestals or in pits, you will have a far larger sense of magnetism and congruence and a sense of charisma that will be unmatched. See, the logic is that because when we don't judge anyone, when we are not judging someone, we build better rapport. When you are really looking up to someone, right, you put them on a pedestal, then there is a mismatch because you're looking up, your expectations are high. When you're looking down on someone, especially, you folks are losers, or, you are like, junior, or you don't have any experience or whatever, right? I'm really good, I'm the best. Right? If you have that kind of an aura and that kind of energy that you're emitting, right, then you won't be able to be relatable. People will sense it and you will never be able to build rapport with them. So you must be grounded and be relatable and be able to be, and that's going to help you to become more charismatic. The last one, which I'll talk about, is to have self-management. Leadership first needs to happen at the level of your own self and your own self-governance, because you can govern others, right? Before you can be charismatic to others, you need to work on yourself first. You need to self-manage your emotions, your thoughts, your behaviors effectively in different situations. Someone with strong self-management skills actually knows what to do and how to act in different situations. And that is a vital skill if you want to build your charisma. Having great relationships, not burning up bridges, are part of that ability to self-manage. I hope this is making sense to you, right? So just to recap, you need to have a mission, and you've got to serve your team, your people, your stakeholders, your customers, your managers, right? You've got to do that. Be a problem solver. Have empathy. Share your personal stories of transformation. Engage with the people that you're working with. And especially, when it comes to digital, it's important that you connect with them, right? Over and over again. Be grounded. Don't put people on pedestals or in pits. Develop self-management skills, and that all of this over a period of time should be able to help you to become a very charismatic leader. So what do we do right now? I want to invite you to my next masterclass. If you want to learn how you can improve your charisma and accelerate your career, with that it will obviously accelerate your pay and salary, register on the website, and then I'm going to run a 90-minute masterclass for you. And I'll explain to you how you can move from where you are to the next position that you aspire for in a very short period of time. In about 120 days, you will be able to get that role. I hope you have found this video useful, and I request you that two things of you, right? Number one is to give this click on that like symbol and subscribe to my channel. So, and if you have not done so, obviously, if you have not done that, do that now. And if you're watching this on Facebook, please tag a friend or a family member who probably will benefit from watching this. Share this video, and it can actually help, make a difference to someone, right? All the very best again. Take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.